Hello guys, welcome back to Beaten Off Junction. Just a little bit of a quick video as a situation that I've got on the layout which is hindering progress, I'll say. I have a slight issue with the boards as they stand and a few issues, so I'll spin the camera around and we'll carry on with it. So back in a sec. So we're back. First and foremost, obviously, to new subscribers that have recently subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I didn't think I'd be on the subs that I am, but I am. So thank you very much. So this will be the main part. Well, there's two sides to the layout, but this will be my main focus to start with, which will be town scene with platforms and all the rest of it. So as you can see, it is in a ridiculous mess at the minute state, and then obviously this will be the countryside going down and other bits and bobs. So as I said at the start, the issue I have is from getting 3 lines there down to the, I wouldn't say it's generally saying it's a fiddle yard, but it's going to be more of a storage yard than anything else. So obviously there's going to be 12 lanes there, 4 tracks for each. So my issue is this part here is over 1 foot high, and the same with this part here. Now I've cut this Metcalf wall kit to the height that the track will sit above this baseboard. So as you can see, if I put it up against this bit here, you can see of how much I've taken out. Now I know there'll be people commenting on this saying, oh, the bottom stones, but along the bottom of this, all the way along, will be bushes and shrubbery, so it'll all get hidden. So obviously I've got to go from there using these foam incliners, which I have the 4%. Obviously at the time of doing research, 4% in the space that I have, 3% I think was a bit too much of a push. But speaking to Jan over at AY76, he, and also watching Dave over at Dean Park Station, they have both used power base system. I can't think of the manufacturer, but obviously I've got to go from there down to now there, well, down there where the tracks are. So obviously, as I said, this is 1 foot high and this is 1 foot plus, I can't remember what it is, so it's over 1 foot basically. So obviously I've been speaking to a few people, Chris Hunt, Jason, obviously Chris Hunt at Hunt Heath, Jason at Barnabas Junction, a few others that have said, you know, you're trying to get trains to go from there to there at an angle more or less like that, which is not workable. So the first plan of action we kind of had on video chat was to see if I could fit in 2 helixes, which I could theoretically have two helixes independent, which is possible. Obviously quarter round, so it'll be a 4th radius, 3rd, and then 2nd on the inner. To apologise, my hands already aching from holding the camera, my phone. So obviously I'd have 2 either side. Now obviously with these tracks here, they'd go around and around. I'll try not to thingy, but as soon as they get to here, obviously they'd have to run along the back and then come here, and then obviously this helix would go round and round, but then as it comes to here, would kind of more or less have to come along the front here and then down underneath. Now that was one suggestion or one idea that we thought of. Obviously you're now looking at this video and thinking, well, hang on a minute, you have progressed quite a bit because there's 3 new boards. well, yes, in actual fact you are. So this is obviously one, the middle bit, and that is the last piece. Another idea was said to raise the, sorry, I can't speak today, to raise these boards up, so then it's less of a drop. At the time, I to try and it's quite difficult, to be honest, to try and say in a way of modeller's block. I'm getting a bit thingy while saying it. I've struggled with a bit of depression, mental health issues, which has arisen recently. So I decided to take myself away from the layout. This is the first time I've been up in 2 weeks to try and clear my head, and drain myself is the word, or whatever. I don't know what you could use. But looking at it now, well, I thought I'd do this video just to see if anyone could come up with any other suggestions in the comments below, really. Well, my plan was to get trains running by Christmas, which unfortunately is looking very an impossible mission at the minute. My other thought tonight was to lower these top boards by at least 100mm, which if I can try and get a tape measure, these boards are 110, if I can get that in, 110 high. So obviously, bear with me guys, I'm trying to do this freelance without the tripod or whatever. Just move that down there for a second. Sorry about the shaky camera, guys, I do apologise. So obviously the whole idea of this whole bottom piece was that if I could be able to reach in and grab trains and all the rest of it, but unfortunately that the whole idea behind that was then I wouldn't have to bring a train from this part of the fiddle yard or storage yard up to the top of the layout to then solve if there's a derailment, or, you know what I mean, I don't like, say for instance the class 37 I have in the coalest livery, if I got a bit bored of it towing a rake of hoppers or whatever, you know what I mean, I could just simply come down here, disconnect it off, and then put it onto a different a network rail train or something, and do it with any other you know, like the class 68 and Trans-Pennine Express livery, as you've seen on my Beatenhof Junction board, where I've got a picture of the 68 towing a rake of Pendolino coaches, which, you know, I genuinely do like that photo. You know, and if I wanted to replicate it on the layout, then I could do so. But unfortunately, that is not really going to happen. So I'm in a bit of a stock whether I raise these, but then my other thought this evening was to lower this board. So obviously, I mean, that's, as we said, 110. So 110. If I lowered it down to just be above there, would bring the bottom of the board down. I'd say to the top of here. So try and focus, the bottom where my finger is now would be where the top board is. So basically, again, do apologise. I've got a new phone, so I've not used it yet to record. But yeah, then obviously I'm not sure of I think that gives me about 20 mil ish, give or take, above the rolling stock, which obviously it's all right for this board because it's built up and away, and to be honest, that side of the layout, the track's going to be raised off that board anyway, so again, it's not going to be an issue. The only issue is going to be is along here where I'm going to fit point motors, but if there's anyone in the comment, like obviously spoke to Chris about getting the bigger inclines, the foam risers, and going from all the way along. Sorry about the spin of the camera, guys, I do apologise. So from going from behind where we are now, all the way along the layout on a gradual decline underneath the layout, which then would come down to here flat, and then obviously I mean, it's, yes, it could work, but then by the time I'd say it gets to by here or whatever, I'd have to lose part of the fiddle yards to then build up around it and all the rest of it. So I'm just looking for suggestions really on what could be the approach to this. As I said, I've taken myself away from the layout, as you can see. This was the state it was left in 2 weeks ago, I think it was, maybe even longer, from when I left it. My other thinking was, obviously you can see a bit of a slight change here. The bridges were here to have that kind of scene. Well, obviously with this part here, with it being a scenic break about here, there's not going to be, trying to do a canal scene in this is just not going to work out. So my other thinking was to move this part how it is with all the buildings, to then put them here. Now obviously these tracks here aren't exactly straight, which if I can try and replicate it, as you can see, they are on an angle, which I could, because these were going to be set track curves along here, which I could relax them, I suppose is what I'm looking for, which would then make it, as the whole point of this was there would be a road going underneath there and then underneath and then up, which the only issue I had was with the heritage line, there wouldn't be much of a car park for visitors, which if that scene there moves itself and puts it here on an angle, if you can imagine it with me, guys. Obviously the road goes in underneath. I'll make it look like it goes somewhere that way. Obviously I'll take a photo and of it, look, you know, a scenic bit by there, but then also have a road coming up the top here, and then having this as a car park, and possibly making that heritage part of the layout a little bit better than what it was going to be, if you can understand where I'm coming from. Which then, you know, it not so much declutters all this, but then, you know, I can make it flow a bit more, and then I'll be able to bring this. Now on previous videos you can see of where the bridges was going to be from this side of the layout, which I think I did draw them somewhere. No, I didn't. No, I thought I had, but I hadn't. Or actually, no, tell a lie, sorry. It is actually underneath here somewhere. So basically them bridges, instead of them being there, we're going to be more or less by here somewhere, which then allows me to, obviously this piece is resting up on boxes and all the rest of it, which gives me more of to play with. So then from here, or whatever this is going to be, I mean, this will be a bigger farm scene then of what it's actually, or actually what it was going to be. And then obviously the battens there are for the heritage. Yeah, sorry guys, I can't get my words out tonight. For the other side of the heritage line, which is going to be called Grenville Holt, which obviously the TMD was going to be a removable section. I'm thinking to work on that piece, I haven't got much space, so that is going to have to be another separate piece that's removable off the layout, which also gives me another layout if I deem to could take to exhibitions and all the rest of it. But yeah, just, I know I've waffled on a bit, but yeah, just in the comments if you could just give suggestions on what I could do in regards, whether, you know, I've already said, you know, good plans, you know, lowering the top boards. I mean, it's not a mega issue. As they're rested on top piece there and a bottom bit, so I'd only have to take off, although it would mean disturbing this whole lot, and then obviously I'd have to lower this side down to match the same height. Again, not really an issue, but it just to help me, you know, I know it's my layout, but on certain things, I think from viewers and subscribers commenting on videos, you know, you have an input into our layouts, I suppose, in a way, and this would be greatly appreciated. So yeah, just leave suggestions in the comments below. I'll hopefully get a few on suggestions on what to do and where I can go from, as I've only got one board left of these plies. These were 8x4 sheets, and I've only got one left that's cut to the same I think the same width as that, but obviously a little bit longer, which I'm going to use for the raised section along here, obviously cut into strips. I do have one or two other boards dotted around. I don't want to waste money, so to say, as money is quite tight at the minute with it coming to Christmas. So with the wood I have left, I want to be 100% sure that what I'm doing, you know, is going to work and all the rest of it. So yeah, just as I said again, just leave your comments in below and we'll see where we can go from there. And hopefully, you know, I can put it to rest, put it to bed, whatever, and then we can come, hopefully, well, I think Christmas is a bit of too much of an uphill task to have trains running now. As I know my previous update, this is all wired dropper wise. The bus is temporary in place, but I still haven't managed to drop a wire them corners yet, which I said in the previous update I was going to do, and I think I said in the previous update to that I was going to do. So yeah, I think I should start making a list on going, right, that's what I'll do first before I move on. So I think that is what I'll do for now. So yeah, I think I've been waffling on for about 20 minutes now or so, I'm going to make a move. So hopefully I get to hear some of the comments, and thanks again for watching, guys. I shall see you hopefully in a next update. Thanks again, guys.